Welcome to another edition of City Skylines, the Dev Diaries. These videos take a closer look at the official Dev Diaries that can be found at the Paradox Interactive Forum, and I'll include a link to them in the video description. In this episode, we'll be looking at districts and policies. The developers of City Skylines wanted cities to be big, but they also wanted to give us the ability to control and customize smaller areas of the city. And so they created districts. Districts are simply areas of the city that you can define using a simple paint tool, and they can be used to create all kinds of things, from residential neighborhoods, industrial parks and commercial districts, to more generic areas like the boroughs of New York or London. Once you've defined a district, the game automatically assigns it a name, but you can change that name whenever you like. And you'll now have access to the statistics panel, which gives you all kinds of useful information. Now, I'm a bit of a stats freak, so this is exactly the kind of thing I want in a city builder. As well as a total population number, we get a complete demographic breakdown of the population by age group. And not only the current numbers of households and workers, but also the maximum capacities. I like that. We also get the average level of zoned buildings for residential, commercial, industrial and offices, along with the average land value. Another thing I like is that the list of icons that shows which policies are active in this district is also displayed under the district name on the map. One thing I'm not so keen on is the apparent lack of any information about jobs. Now, remember that the game isn't finished yet, so everything that we see is potentially subject to change. But I'll be kind of disappointed if we don't see at least some basic information about commercial, industrial and office jobs. And just to be clear, commercial buildings definitely do create jobs. Now, this panel also gives us access to the District Policies panel. But before we look at that, I think the first thing is to clarify that you can control policies at two different levels, either city-wide or at the district level. City-wide policies are accessed by clicking the Policies button on the main UI. Any policies you set here will be applied to the whole city, including any districts that you've already created. And any new districts you create will automatically adopt any city-wide policies which are already in effect. District policies are set by accessing the district panel, which you do by clicking the district name, and from there by clicking the Policies button. And changing these policies only affects the district that's selected. The ability to create districts and the different policies will unlock as the city grows, once again illustrating the developers' philosophy that they want City Skylines to be a game and not purely a sandbox city builder. Although, with modding, a sandbox mode should also soon be available. So what exactly are the policies? Well, the policies are divided into four categories: services, taxation and city planning, which can all be applied at both city or district level, while industrial specialization can only be applied at the district level. Services policies affect things like police, fire, health and education. The education boost policy is pretty self-explanatory, while the smoke detector policy, for example, reduces the chance of fire by a hefty 25%. But along with the pros of these policies, you'll usually find a corresponding con, and it's usually financial. So for example, the fire detectors reduce the chance of fire, but increase your costs by a fixed amount per building. The taxation policies allow you to fine-tune your tax rates for different zone types and densities, while the district policies allow you to either give tax relief or maybe raise taxes to milk an area that's booming. City planning policies can often be used to affect how the city or a particular district will look. You can, for example, ban high-rise buildings, or exclude heavy traffic from a specific area, or turn your residential buildings into smart buildings that help to increase land value. Last but not least, we have the industrial specialization policies, which allow you to convert generic industry to one of four industrial specializations: oil, or forestry and agriculture. Select one of the 4 specializations and you'll soon see the zoned industry buildings start to change to the industry type you've selected. And in case you were wondering, there's also a generic industry option which reverts specialized industry back to generic industry. And that's it for this episode. I'd like to thank Henke for putting together the original dev diary. I'd like to thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this vid, hit the like button, or better still, leave me a comment. And I'll be back for episode 9, where we'll be taking a more detailed look at info views.